And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Digital Fiasco Live. And Discount is already fucking up everything. Are you okay back there?
Just move the keyboard.
Did you? Okay, all right. I heard stuff breaking.
All I hear is "Oh God" the second he sits down.
Yeah.
Minimize everything.
But the chat does hear sound, so that's a good sign.
That's important.
So my name's Dandr0id,
And I'm Jack McBastard.
and yeah, this is Digital Fiasco Live, talking about all the awesome new gaming news and whatnot. And what?
I'm just concerned as whatever the fuck.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's no fire yet, so just
Yet.
yeah.
I'll try harder.
Thanks, Discount. We appreciate it. You're worth every penny we don't pay you.
That's what Tron said. So
Okay?
he literally just said that. So
Discount effort.
Yeah, you're worth every penny that we don't pay you, I guess. I guess that's what we get. All right. How you going?
I'm good.
Good?
Yeah,
Good?
It's a little chilly outside, but other than that,
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you're you live in a hole. You don't care.
I absolutely care.
What this is my coffee. Sorry, is it blocking everything?
Yes.
I can put it right there.
It looks like something you'd transport fissionable material in.
There, we'll just put this lovely, sexy mug right there. Center.
Ugh.
Gotta center that logo.
Gonna slosh some Maker's
there.
Mark in there.
Huge. Okay.
Huge.
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good.
Yep. Are you gonna ask me what I was playing, or do you not care? See, now who doesn't care?
Well, I only assumed that you hadn't had a chance to play anything. But what have you been playing, Dan?
No, I get to play stuff on my lunch break, even
Okay.
if I am busy in the evening. So
Pocket pool doesn't count.
no, that's
Okay.
next week.
To schedule it?
Yeah, I mean I'm at work, so you gotta be really careful with
Nope. Too many questions. We've already come too far. What have you been playing?
This is a stupid question, but do you know what Gunstar Heroes is?
Yes.
Okay. I found out that they quietly released a kind of a reboot almost of it on the Game Boy Advance. It's called Super Gunstar Heroes.
Seems logical.
And holy shit, is it ever an awesome game. Have you seen it before?
I've seen Gunstar Heroes. I've
But
not
not-
seen
not
Super
Super-
Gunstar Heroes.
Okay,
You've
so
been playing a lot of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff recently.
because it's mobile stuff. It's easy to
I
play
guess.
at work, so
I guess. Fair.
but
If you had a Vita, you wouldn't have these issues. Just saying.
if I had a Vita, I'd probably just be playing a bunch of Super Nintendo games. But that's neither here nor there.
Harsh but fair.
But anyways, yeah, it's just amazing to see something that was such an amazing looking game on the Genesis, and then just throw it on a Game Boy Advance. So it's this tiny little handheld, and holy crap, does it ever look fucking amazing?
Yeah.
I absolutely adore what it looks like because they updated it kind of with a modernized kind of anime aesthetic to
Yep.
it. So they're like kind of chibi looking little guys and whatnot. And what do you?
Listening.
What?
He's snapping at you for some reason.
Can you hit our lighting over here?
Oh yeah, the
the
switch
wall.
back there.
It's the wall. No, it's
Discount.
at control. But it's the wall light. It's the same one.
You always forget that one. You gotta set a reminder for that.
Well, it is off, so turn it on.
There, we're good.
Yes.
There, now he doesn't look as pasty now.
You wanna turn that on?
Isn't it on?
No,
You just turned it off.
there. You see, it's on.
I played with the dim switch.
Go sit down.
I think the last thing you need.
Sitting down.
I think the last thing you need to worry about is a dim switch.
You shut your door.
Anyways,
Anyways,
okay, yes.
boogie boarding.
No, not boogie boarding.
Okay.
Super Gunstar Heroes.
Super Gunstar Heroes.
The really cool part is that they've actually brought basically the whole package that was on that game to the Game Boy Advance.
Sure.
Just the only difference, of course, is that you can't play two players, unfortunately, which is kind of an oversight because Game Boy Advance had the ability to play multiplayer via link cable or whatnot, but still, it was.
So did a PS1. It wasn't super easy or intuitive.
There's a bit of a difference there.
I
All in
guess.
one system. PlayStation TV with controller and a bunch of cables.
link cable. It boils down to the link cable.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's not like simple like the Switch is now.
Anyways, it was a bit of an oversight because that was one of the best parts about the original Gunstar Heroes was playing
Right.
multiplayer. One of the other things that they changed in it that was kind of good and bad is in the old one, it used to be that you'd pick up the different weapon pickups and then you could like mix and match them and you get like different crazy effects with like if you had like laser and spread shot or, you know, like the shotgun one or the flamethrower, and they did a bunch of different weapons like that. So in this one, they literally just give you 3 weapons that you can change on the fly. So you have your normal blaster, you have like kind of a shotgun blast, and then you have a homing laser. And then you can switch between those for different types of enemies and different boss fights and everything like that. But the crazy part on it is that not only is it the same insanity on like a little tiny screen, but they did a bunch of really wild things with the levels too. Okay. So it's one of those ones, like, it looks very much like a Super Nintendo game because they use a lot of, like, Mode 7 in it, but I love that old, like, pixel aesthetic like that. So there's literally one level where you're on a, like, hover jet thing, but picture it from the front of the hover jet, like it's flying towards the screen, and you're standing on it, and you're actually running, or you're standing on top of it, and as you hit left and right, it actually spins the whole level around you, so you're, like, doing barrel rolls, but you're staying on top, still gunning everything. So it's like you have magnet boots on, and you're stuck to the top of it, and it's doing barrel rolls, and you're like shooting all the enemies that are coming out of the background into the foreground at you, in all like glorious like Mode 7 looking graphics and everything. They did that one, and there was like a boss fight where you're in this underground tunnel, and you're actually walking around. You remember what the old Sonic levels looked like, the bonus levels, where it had like that big spinning pinball kind of situation?
I absolutely do not.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
Well, that completely ruins that then.
I can imagine. I mean,
well, okay, yeah, it's basically a bunch of like tunnels underground, but instead of you just running left and right and stuff like that, as you go around it, the whole level's kind of spinning, so it's almost feels like kind of anti-gravity in some of the parts, and you have to like chase down these worms that are like burrowing through the dirt and everything. Okay. So it's just this like really, really insanely fun, fast shooter. But it's a reboot too, because they kind of just retell the story of the Genesis one, when they could have easily just continued on the storyline and said, "Oh, these guys are back for no reason." But they're like, "Oh, no, we'll push that aside and we'll just retell the same story."
Well, I don't think anyone was really confused by the story.
Yeah, because it was barely there. That's why it was kind of like they could have taken this, you know, advantage of it being another game to maybe tell more of the story.
Frankly, I'm amazed that you noticed.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos about a lot of different games and stuff like that.
It doesn't seem like something I would pick up on.
Radiophage loves Mode 7. It's one of the best technologies next to blast processing.
F-Zero, Mario Kart,
Pilot Wings.
Pilot Wings. Oh, and what was that other one? Castlevania. He did.
Oh yeah,
fantastic
I did a
stuff
lot with that actually.
Yeah.
And Stanley Cup hockey.
Okay, you lost me there, buddy.
It wasn't a good game in the slightest, but at the time, that looked amazing to actually have like a 3D rink under you. It
looked amazing for the time, sure. Final Fantasy IV airship mode.
Oh yes, of course, yes. Final Fantasy 3, lots of stuff in there too.
Yeah, no, he's talking about R2, therefore, because it was the airship. Yeah, which was awesome.
Well, they had the airship in 3 also.
Well, yeah, but I don't remember in 3 if it actually used the Mode 7.
Oh, it absolutely did. Yeah. Because it did the whole thing where you could like dip and dive, and then you could like land it, and then it would switch back to like the flat map after that.
Dip, dive, dodge, duck, and dodge.
All of those.
That's right.
Except there was none of that in there because they didn't have combat on it.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, that's about all I got to play because it was just kind of like lunch hour fun.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm just really hankering to play some shit on my computer because it actually runs games now, and I've barely got to game on it. I haven't even gotten to try Rocket League on my fucking computer yet.
Yeah, so are you sitting there and complaining about your backlog to me?
No, I'm complaining that stuff is keeping me from playing games rather than saying, I'm going to play these old games instead of these new ones that I have, like you do all the time.
Yeah, well, don't forget, like this stuff, like that's 8, 10, 12 hours a week on top of it after my full-time job, so I don't think I've played much of anything, except Metro, which fucking just pissed me off.
Yeah, so tell me about that, because we were talking a bit before the show, but we had to go on. So
so basically, Metro in the original series was a series of linear levels. Some were slightly bigger, like that swamp level with like that driving and the fucking demon killing you. Okay, but it was all very linear, like A to B to C, etc. In Metro Exodus, first couple levels are linear, then it gets to this massive kind of open world area. that has a bunch of different missions all in the same open world area. So how you go about searching the area, the things you explore, how you find things in any order, it's largely up to you.
Is there anything blocked off, or is it literally one of those maps where you run into a place and you know you're not supposed to be there because something just tore your head off in like one hit?
That's basically Russia in a nutshell in Metro. Like it's all just hostile in general.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's fine. Halfway through the game or so, there's this one level, and it's like it's way out in the Caspian Sea. So it's like a desert kind of area. You're in a bunch of arid canyons and whatnot.
I was gonna say, so the sea isn't there anymore, and you're like on the...
we're not actually in the sea.
Okay,
but,
no, I thought
yeah.
maybe the water was gone, and you were on the bottom of where the sea was.
To a certain extent, it's that. You get kind of the same Mad Max style geography with boats sunk in the dirt.
Yeah,
and
rusted
whatnot.
ships that are just kind of there.
Yeah, there is some of that. It has receded somewhat. But anyway, so I went to this one area in the upper left-hand corner, and it's basically you and this other guy. You are going through this back door into this enemy base. You're trying to get this tanker car full of fuel, or it's water. Tanker car full of water.
I was gonna say, don't get those mixed up.
Well, it's a steam engine.
You're gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, it's a steam engine, so technically it's a bit of both. Anyway, long story short, you go down, you slide down this one-way slide into this canyon. You fuck up everyone in the canyon. You go through this narrow sort of crawling passageway into this base. You fuck up everyone in the base, and you eventually get out with this tanker. You drive it back to your train. Tank up the train, blah, blah, blah. So there were some collectibles in this box canyon that I missed. Mm-hmm. So I went back into the box canyon, slide down. That's fine. In Metro, you get 2 saves. You get an auto save, and you get your manual quick save. And
they don't give you multiple manual quick saves?
No.
That's really unfortunate.
It is really unfortunate.
That seems like a major oversight, because modern gaming typically allows you to have at least like 30 of those.
So... quick save fires off. I had auto saved once I found my collectibles, right? And I'm trying to go through this tiny little narrow crawlway into this base so I can get out, and you can't because it's blocked. And it's not blocked. It's just that there is no option to crawl through it anymore.
Oh, like it takes away the context sensitive button that you would need to go through it.
I'm hitting the button anyway. It's not doing shit, and I'm fucking stuck in this box canyon. So I spent about 3 hours trying to make really, really impossible jumps, or like jumping up the side, like kind of like hit the separation between the pixels. So we're like try to get a little bit of extra jumping height.
Yeah.
As I like slowly jump up the side. That's fine and dandy because that wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. I went all the way around, and I managed to make it back across the canyon to the top. And fuck me if the whole area isn't blocked off with invisible walls.
Of course it is.
Yes. Yep. So I'm there, and there's nothing blocking me from the exit except nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
Right? So I'm sitting there, and I'm slowly chewing my fingers to the bone. And it's like, wow, this has really made me angry. I have to put this down now because I went and I loaded the chapter, and it saves all the collectibles, but you lose all of your weapons that you salvage, all of the weapon parts that you salvage, which are just not like go to this place and it's there. It's like individual pieces and components that people randomly drop all over the map.
Right.
So it represents like 12 to 15 hours worth of work on this one level that I have to fucking start all over again. I can't even critical path it just doing the story missions because I still have to go out and search for all of this shit to still have my weapons built up.
And are you going to write them a sternly worded email after this?
No, I'm just going to breathe in deeply.
Yeah.
Because I still have to write a review for it. And I don't want to just lose my shit and give them a bad review because it is a good game, but god damn it, did this just not kill any desire I had to play.
And it's unfortunate too, because I guarantee that's one of those things that in another week or two,
they'll
be like, oh, the new patch is out, it fixes that error.
It's kind of what I'm wondering. There is a patch that they said was going to be downloaded.
Yeah.
If that fixes that, then yay, I'm right back on board.
So have you not restarted your thing yet?
No,
okay.
no.
Hang in there, get the patch first, see if that fixes it. Because I guarantee you're not the only one that had that issue.
No,
so,
fucked if I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna be fucking bastard. Anyway.
Let's catch up with some stuff there. I know that Hate Machine was talking about it was really sad that the Mad Max game never got any DLC like it was supposed to.
I mean, it was large enough as it was, really.
I don't know. I could have used some DLC. I thought they did a great job on that game. I had a blast playing that one.
Did you get the platinum in it?
No.
It had enough content.
Oh, yeah, but that's
you.
That's bullshit content. I want like story content. I want visual, stimulating content, not go here and collect 1,000 things that don't matter in the game.
I don't know. Literally every time I raided a base and there was a war crier dangling from the fucking rope and say, oh, it's bad luck to kill the war crier. That was perfect content each and every time because I laughed. All of them.
Yeah, but see, they put more of that and less about the go find another thing of scrap bolts in the middle of the desert.
Oh, the races were the worst.
Yeah,
the races were the absolute worst.
And I know Radiophage was talking about it was really sad because he didn't get to see the monochrome version of the Mad Max Fury Road movie.
Well.
I think if you get the Blu-ray, I believe that's on there. I think you can just switch the option to have it in monochrome or not.
Either that or just throw on some blue blockers. Basically the same effect.
Basically the same thing.
Witness me. That's about right. Yeah, so Metro Exodus was about the only thing I had, which is unfortunate because I was trying to get through it so I could write the review because I picked up Toe Jam and Earl on Friday.
Oh, nice.
And I wanted to fucking just dive into that. And all weekend long, it was like I have to get through this. And then eventually it's like, nope, I'm done with gaming for now. So.
I watched a review on that one.
Yep.
People are really liking it.
Yep.
It seems like it's going to be a good one.
It's Toe Jam and Earl.
Is it on the Switch?
Probably.
Discount? Yes, I believe it is.
I know it's definitely on the PlayStation, the Xbox. I'm sure it's on the Switch,
yeah,
too.
if not, it'll be shortly, because it's certainly not graphically intense, as you would call it.
It's actually pretty pretty looking.
It looks beautiful, but graphically intense, no. It plays... The graphics are akin to, like, Parappa the Rapper, basically. It has, like, 3D backgrounds with, like, paper flat characters that are animated, all funny.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Anyway. For the PS4. And no, I had the Division 2 beta, never even fired it up because I was trying to get through fucking Metro. Fuck. Anyway. So, on that topic, why don't we talk about what our picks are for the Triple D?
All right.
Discs, downloads, and DLC.
Okay. Not a lot going on this week. I think it's just kind of like one of those down weeks in between. But there are a couple big ones, and they picked a good time to come out because there's not a lot of competition right now. So one of the big ones, one that I got to play the demo of, and it seemed like more of the same goodness, was Devil May Cry 5.
Yes.
So this one is finally dropping after years and years and years, especially for those fans that just didn't agree with what Ninja Theory did with DMC, which is really unfortunate because I think more people need to play that game to realize that it was actually a good game. Whether they like the story and the character of Dante as much, that's still kind of up in the air. But as far as a game goes, it's solid. It is so much fucking fun to play.
Ninja Theory, man, they know their
shit. And that's the thing is they do good stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, so a proper one from Capcom directly. Devil May Cry 5 is finally coming out, and it seems like it's going to be more Devil May Cry awesomeness. So there's that one, and this one. You seem to be really disappointed with everything that's come out recently about this one. You want to tell us a bit about Left Alive? Because you have more of a connection to this thing than I do. I played a couple front mission games. I didn't play them, really in depth or anything like that. So when this one came out, you were like, "Fuck yes, I want to play this game." What happened?
Yeah. We're gonna circle around back to that.
Oh, you want to talk about it a bit later?
We have a news piece on it, but let me tell you, it did not turn out as...
Okay, all right. Well, we'll get to talk about that a bit later. So Left Alive is coming out tomorrow. All I really know of it is that it was a bit like... It was
supposed to be like Metal Gear.
It was like Metal Gear, but in the front mission world.
Correct.
So you're a third-person shooter. I guess you get to, handle some mechs at some point. Maybe shoot them down with a big gun or something like that.
I know you pilot them around and stuff too.
Yeah. So outside of that, I don't know what all the horrible news is. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Damon Blade, honestly, DMC, next to 3 is probably one of my favorite Devil May Cry games because it was just a ton of fun to play, and I loved the different take on it.
Yep. DMC was really good, and people were like, "I don't like his hair."
And you know what? If it doesn't still sit well with you, go watch. There's different videos out there of people that talk about how it kind of came into development and everything like that. And it's not like Ninja Theory just grabbed this away from Capcom and just shit all over their license. Capcom very much had their hands in it, and go watch some videos about it because it's actually really, really interesting.
I'm actually surprised that Capcom had its hands in it and it still turned out good.
Oh, ha ha.
Just saying. After Frank's big package, let me tell you.
Well, I mean, they can't make pure gold.
Yep.
This is a weird one. The PS Vita is getting Night Trap, the 25th anniversary edition. I thought that already came out for that. But they took extra time to just fit it on such a small system. I don't know.
The fucking Venn diagram for people with a Vita who want to play fucking Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition. Like,
it is mind-boggling, actually, now that I say that out loud. It's like,
right.
You have a Vita, you still play your Vita,
yep.
and you want to play Night Trap on your Vita.
Right.
When you can play it on every other console. You can play it on the Switch.
Whose market analysis are they using to decide what platforms to release this shit on?
I think they were thinking, hey, this is easy enough to put on the Vita, and we can get an extra $20 from the people that still play their Vita that want to play Night Trap.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Because they probably paid about 25 cents to port it to the Vita.
All right. What else?
There was one that we were talking about on the PSU chat there. The Occupation.
Yes.
You know more about that one than I do. What is that one about?
It very much kind of like what was it?
Because I know they were all looking forward to it. I just didn't get a chance to really dive into that one.
You play as a journalist, and you have to come up with these stories, and there are a lot of things that are happening. Basically, it all takes place in real time.
Okay.
So like an hour of time takes a real time hour.
Okay.
So there are things that occur. Say this guy will go to lunch, and then he will take like half an hour for lunch.
Oh, so it's like Night Trap.
No. For one thing,
everything happens in real time in Night Trap.
Yeah, my disappointment happens in real time in Night Trap.
Along with the chick playing the tennis racket and the guys with the machines.
No.
I'm not wrong, but anyways, carry on.
Oh, so many ways you are wrong. But anyway, long story short, but there are like you have a mystery that you have to solve, and it's like all about finding different ways to pass by puzzles at like Deus Ex style. So you can like try to pick a lock, you could try to come in through the window.
Oh, okay. So you have different stats and you can get in different ways. Like you kind of pick your route into the mission and stuff like that.
Say, for example, if you look through the window and you see it's got like an alarm on it, you know not to do that, otherwise it'll like breach the alarm. So it's very much like a look around your environment and treat it like a real world. So it actually is pretty cool. Just some of the demo, like the demo videos that they had.
Yeah.
Without giving anything away, it really sort of highlights how like one individual event can be affected by all of the actions leading up to it.
I'm kind of glad I didn't watch the trailer for that. It sounds like the type of thing you want to go in like completely blind.
It looks really cool. I'm hoping that it is as sort of open-ended as it looks.
Okay, cool. So that one. That one's coming out tomorrow also, digital release. Another one that a lot of people seem to really enjoy. I like Tetris. I'm not so hot on Puyo Puyo, but they have Puyo Puyo Tetris coming to PS4. And there's a lot of people that love this as a challenging like party game. Because you can have Puyo Puyo versus Tetris, or Tetris versus Tetris, or Puyo Puyo versus Puyo Puyo.
That is literally the most times I've ever heard the words Puyo Puyo in a single sentence.
Do you want me to say it one more time?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck is Puyo Puyo?
It's like a little blob puzzle Tetris game. You know, like kind of like what Dr. Mario is. Like this is like a very
is this the multicolored blobs?
Like they look like little blobby guys. And
obviously, I'm thinking about different multicolored blobs.
It plays a little bit like Dr. Mario,
sure,
but as stuff breaks, stuff can tumble down and colors can combine and everything like that. So it's another puzzle block-esque game, but there's more physics and matching and stuff to it. So it's very interesting. Like it's huge. That one's huge in Japan. Like that's a big puzzle puzzle gaming thing in Japan. So
fuck, I'm huge in Japan. I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't count for anything. And of course, I saw people talking in the chat there too. So just to update anyone that was looking for it, the PS Plus games are out, of course, tomorrow, and that'll be Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and The Witness. Now, I played the shit out of Modern Warfare when it came out. Yep. I was kind of done with that one. I might revisit the single player one again because it was one of the better
No.
single player situations in those games.
You're talking about the original version or the remaster?
Like the PS3 one, like when it first came out.
Sure.
And I really enjoyed that one. It was well done. It was well written. Like that, I think that one in general among the fans, that is one of their favorites for the single player, for the storyline and everything, even if it is only like you know, 5 or 6 hours or whatever.
Yep.
That one, and then I'm actually really looking forward towards the Witness, because I wanted to get into playing, some Myst-esque like puzzle games and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that one, I hear it's a little out there at times and a little confusing, but still, I really want to give it a try.
But it is hard.
Yeah, and that was kind of the point. So.
Yep. No, it's interesting. It's basically there are no objects or inventory. Basically, you are treating. It's almost like picture Metroidvania if your special weapons that you get are ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we had talked about this. So you can go back and you can solve puzzles that you couldn't do before. You would you would look at them and you're like, I don't know what I do here. And then all of a sudden you learn something over there and you're like, oh, it makes sense now.
Non-verbal tutorials.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting setup. And as much as I don't like Jonathan Blow personally, no one can deny he's a smart-ass fucking guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because what was his other one? Braid.
Braid.
I absolutely love that game. It was very well done.
There's my unpopular opinion. Anyway.
Okay. You got anything else to add there?
Yeah. Xbox One gets Black Desert starting today.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't have that one already. Because that one's been around for a couple years now. It's been slowly trickling down to consoles and stuff. So
you know how Xbox and Japan are.
Oh, I guess, yeah, there's that.
Or I guess Black Desert. Is that South Korean? I don't know.
That's a Korean one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
it might be Chinese. I think it's Korean.
I'm
pretty sure it's
Korean. We're
Korean.
drifting closer to inadvertently racist, so let's just move on. Beat Cop is coming out for PlayStation 4, finally.
Oh, yes.
It's a great game.
Yeah, you actually really enjoyed that one.
Yep, and it's like a little pixel, like, this is one that'll be right up your alley. You fucking love that.
Yeah.
Beat Cop.
Well, like, from what I saw, it kind of reminded me of almost like Shadowrun for the Super Nintendo, but you're a beat cop instead.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same idea as The Occupation, where it's not a one-to-one time, but you're a cop on the beat, and you are a disgraced homicide detective, and you have to like clear your name and to figure out who set you up and whatnot, all while on this beat.
Yeah, and you have to take care of all the other shit while you're trying to deal with your own stuff.
Yeah, so you can't like waste a bunch of time pursuing your own objectives and not like walk your whole beat and stop crimes all over the place. And
or you'll have to turn in your badge and your gun.
Right. The mayor's been yelling at me for an hour. You're loose cannon.
And Radio Phage, believe me, we all miss it. I really do. That's one, honestly, when I start collecting cartridges again, that is absolutely one of my first purchases.
Yeah, I've got both of them, and frankly, I can't say one's better than the other.
You like the Genesis one better.
I mean, I like the Genesis one better in terms of the mechanics of it.
You like the Matrix part better.
Well, no, the whole thing. Like, it's much closer to the actual game, whereas the Shadowrun for the Super Nintendo was kind of like a better storyline.
Yeah.
Give or take. Doesn't matter. Summer Funland for PSVR. That's one of those
I saw that one. I didn't even know what
games
it is. It literally you just so it's Carnival Games. Okay.
You get a roller coaster and you've
so I can puke as soon as I go over the top of the hill.
Also, we got Games with Gold for March 2019. Adventure Time: Pirates of the Enchiridion.
Sure.
Why not? That's available March 1st to 31st on Xbox One. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is available March 16th to April 15th for Xbox One. Star Wars Republic Commando, one of my favorite Star Wars games.
Oh, yes.
Xbox One and 360, March 1st to 15th. And Metal Gear Rising... Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Keep it down.
March 16th to 31st on Xbox One and Xbox 360.
Oh, yes, Damon Boy. That's actually a better example. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That is very much what Puyo Puyo is like.
Dr. Mario?
On. No. Mean Bean Machine. It was it was Genesis or whatever. You don't care.
They are basically interchangeable.
I still like Spinball better, but that was just me.
But while we're on the topic of Modern Warfare, you can count this as unofficial confirmation that we are getting that Modern Warfare 2 remaster that we had talked about a year ago.
So they are heading in that direction then.
It just cleared the Pan-European Game Information, the PEGI review. So the equivalent of our ESRB.
Right.
So it just got classified. Of course, it is 18 plus. Shockingly enough.
Go figure.
Yeah. What are the odds, right? No Russian alone, I'm sure, put like a pretty rough rating on that. So there's no official confirmation still, so we don't know when it's coming out. But the fact that it's been rated, that generally means it's like a month away or so.
Yeah. Like
very soon.
Yeah. It'll be, well, I guess Q2 basically.
Yeah. Right. I mean, they're just gonna make money. It doesn't matter when it drops. Really.
Oh, of course, because people are they're not looking for a way out, but they're looking for a way back to those old games, and it's really the only way to do it. Because I mean, you can be like, hey guys, come on, let's go play that old game, but even if the servers are still up, you're not going to rally the troops like that. But if they re-release a remaster of it, everyone jumps on, and then
I
they're
don't know,
good.
because it's marketed as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it's going to have the multiplayer. Like the
they're just going to gut it of the multiplayer, or are they going to release it at like a later date, or
no, it's like Modern Warfare Remastered now had no multiplayer in it.
Oh, I thought it had multiplayer in it. Oh, okay.
No.
Well, that's
But
how much
still,
attention
really
I was paying to it.
Anyway, talking about the update for Anthem. No, comes up.
We're going to talk about Anthem in a bit.
Anthem is actually our big ticket today.
Yeah. So hang out for that.
Yep. So, Alpha Protocol lead designer and writer Chris Avallone.
Just had to fit Alpha Protocol in there somewhere, didn't you?
And you know, he has a lot of other names to his credit, but in my heart, he is Alpha Protocol writer and designer.
We will call
Chris
him.
Avallone.
Well, just make it simple. We'll just call him Mr. Alpha Protocol.
Yeah, I could say Fallout 2 designer Chris Avallone, but who the fuck cares about Fallout 2?
His name isn't even Chris anymore. His name is Alpha Protocol or Mr. Alpha Protocol.
Just because he wrote Fallout New Vegas and Planescape Torment, essentially the best role-playing game ever made, he's the Alpha Protocol designer. Anyway, so he has just announced that he's just finished work on Respawn Entertainment's third-person action game, Star Wars Jedi New Order.
Okay, yeah.
Or Fallen Order, excuse me.
So when does it get canceled?
Well, you never know. He says,
I don't know, I'm just so used to that being it's like, oh, what's that, Star Wars? Oh, it's canceled, never mind.
he says he just got finished that and another game. He says, I can't say 100% because of NDAs, but he just finished up work with Jedi, the Fallen Order, and beyond that, there's another big bong dropping in a month. So, I don't know if he worked on maybe The Outer Worlds or something.
Okay.
There was a rumor that that's coming out way sooner than we thought.
Right. Because, I mean, even with the build we saw in the trailers and stuff like that, it didn't
really
look like
finished.
that kind of pre-rendered, like, polish and stuff like that. That looked like a game. Like, it looked like it was, you know...
Because it wasn't running on a Bethesda engine. That's why.
Yeah.
First thing Obsidian did is like, we'll get rid of that.
Oh, Hate Machine. Oh, I'd love if they brought back Dash Rendar. He was still like, he's one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
Yeah, especially the corners on his skull.
Give me another Shadows of the Empire game.
Yeah, let's go through the fucking sewers and then fight that sewer monster. That was fun.
No one says they have to add a sewer level.
Yeah, we're not going to get Dash Render. Anyway, so he's been, as well as working on the Fallen Order for the past 11 months, he says that he provided not only story work and story character reviews, but he's also various cinematic scripts. So there's a few hints that he's given away, and the fact that Avallone has spent about 2.5 years working with Hardsuit Labs, which are the guys that are partially owned by Paradox Interactive.
Okay.
The theory is that he is working on the new Vampire the Masquerade game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, because I heard some rumors about this a couple months ago or something like that. There were some rumors starting to fly around.
Yeah, and the
which
original
got me
one-
excited because I fucking love the original one.
The original one was excellent.
It
was like Diablo that didn't suck.
It did so much with so little, like in a time when those games like just didn't fucking
Right.
exist, really.
Yep.
Do you know which
Yes, Discount?
settings they're like, which world they're using? Are they using the new world?
No, but you could look it up right now. I'm sure that they have some information on
Sorry,
it
I'm
now.
a big vampire fan.
I know you are.
No, I absolutely know that you're a big vampire fan. But, you know, it's the one with vampires. Does that count?
Oh yeah, Janus Marine. I guess that's true. Dash Rendar may not exist anymore because of Disney.
I'm almost certain that he doesn't. Although the Black Sun still exists. So
Isn't that stupid ship you don't like?
no, that's the
That's
Sun
the
Crusher.
Sun Crusher. That was it. Yeah.
No, Kevin J. Anderson doesn't fucking exist in this universe. And good riddance. Anyway, so regardless, we're going to see the brand new Star Wars game. That's going to be shown off for the first time on April the 13th at the Star Wars Celebration in
I
Chicago.
would have laughed if it's like, we're going to show it off on
Nope.
April 1st. Nope.
Nope, no.
You can fuck right off.
April 13th. That's the Star Wars Celebration in Chicago.
Very cool. I look forward to it because again, with all the cancellations and the letdowns that Battlefront was and everything like that, I want to see a proper Star Wars game with a single player campaign in it. I want it. I just want to see what they're gonna do with it.
I've been burned before. I wanted to see 1313. I wanted to see Ragtag. I wanted to see whatever the fuck it was called after that.
That's my point, though. I want to see what all the hype is. So it comes out in April, and if they show it to me, and then all of a sudden it's like it's nothing like those other ones, and it's like just boring looking, then I'd be like, all right.
It's just gonna be pod racing again.
Pod racing with lightsabers.
Don't joke. I actually love the pod racing games. They're the best part.
Honestly, they were some of the better Star Wars games. They really were.
They were great on the PC. We actually had a LAN party at one point, and it was fun as hell on the LAN.
Did you ever get a chance to play with the two joysticks, like the two N64 controllers?
Oh, no.
Oh, that was awesome. It actually worked really well. It's one of those things, they didn't have to do it, but they did it anyways, and it was really cool.
That's Nintendo's ethos in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's a stupid idea. Let's go.
You got 4 ports. Have fun with them.
Yeah, you have a phone, don't you? Anyway, so Cyberpunk 2077 just found out that they have replaced their design director.
Okay.
So last minute.
That's pretty late in the game.
Right? The good news is they replaced him with the director from The Witcher 3.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's like that's kind of a lateral move, but
Sure.
yeah, I don't think it's really anything that's going to impact the development of the game.
I'm going to trust him on this one. I have a good feeling about him.
I don't know, this Witcher 3, I only just heard about it.
Yeah.
So.
It's like, I don't know. I think it's gonna do well. I think I got a good feeling about that game.
I had to look it up. Look, The Witcher. Not Witcher, but The Witcher. Anyway, so still no release date, but CD Projekt Red have confirmed that 2077 is going to be at E3.
Right.
Hopefully playable, but
I'm hoping playable. Playable. 5-minute trailer with a release date at the end of it. That's what I fucking want.
They've already said they can play it all the way through.
Yeah.
They're tuning it.
I mean, that was late last year that they said that.
Oh
too,
yeah, but
so.
I mean, it's still possible for them to do a Q4 release this year.
I'm really hoping. Like, I want that.
Hope so too.
I want that hype trailer,
Right.
and it says releasing like mid-November this
Right.
year or something like that. And yeah,
That'd be
then I will
amazing.
explode through the roof and
Clean
won't
that
see
up
me for a
when
week.
you're done. Yes. All right, so but that's just it. They're never in any kind of hurry. So
No,
who
of
the
course
fuck
not.
knows?
They're one of those companies that literally says it'll be done when it's fucking done.
Yeah, well,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, last minute personnel changes under normal circumstances, I'd say not great. But the fact that it's like an internal replacement,
It's internal. It's so late that it can't really affect all that much.
Tell that to Ron Howard.
And that's a completely different thing.
Just saying. Just saying.
And of course, it's from CD Projekt Red, so they're a little more trustworthy when it comes to that stuff. Now, if they were releasing Anthem and then all of a sudden EA said, "Oh, we're replacing this like creative director 2 months before the game comes out," then you're like, "Oh fuck!"
I'd say
what is going to happen?
I'd say it could only help. So, Denis Villeneuve, he was the guy that did.
His name is Denis.
Denis.
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. Anyway, long story short, I think he was the guy that did. Was he the guy that did GoldenEye?
GoldenEye? I don't think so.
It was some major pictures.
He did Blade Runner 2049.
Well, yeah.
And he's doing the new Dune movie.
I think it was the guy. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Actually, that would make sense because I love GoldenEye. It's still probably my favorite Bond movie.
Just the fact that he could replicate the feel of the original Blade Runner. No, we're not talking about Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson did GoldenEye according to Al Bell, right?
Yeah, but according to Al Bell, Peter Jackson did a lot of movies.
Yeah, that guy, he's busy. So he is doing a brand new reboot of Dune. You've probably heard about this, right? So that's going to be out in 2020, and it's got like everyone in it now.
Yep.
So
a lot of talent under that belt already.
Apparently, this guy Timothée Chalamet, who's the guy who plays Paul, he's in Homeland. I guess he's the son of the guy.
The main guy.
Yeah, I don't know. He was the only name that I didn't actually recognize. The rest they got
No, Ichigo. No, Dune, not Doom.
Dune,
not with The Rock.
If you were a British, you'd say June.
June.
Yes. Like, I don't know where you get a J out of a D.
It's
but
it's a silent D and it's spelled DJUNE.
Yes. Anyway, so Josh Brolin, Dave Bautista, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Stellan Skarsgård, Jason Momoa, Zendaya, and Oscar fucking Isaac.
I know.
Crazy.
Fucking just killer list there. Again, like, I wasn't a big fan of the original Dune movie. I know that that's really polarizing for a lot of people.
Lynch, I'm not
and
a
then
huge Lynch fan.
There was the series that they did, which was much
Hate
better.
Machine is quoting the fucking intro.
Oh yeah, he's a fan.
Apparently, yeah.
But having Denis behind it, having that list of actors, I'm ready. I'm like so fucking ready to watch this already.
It wasn't Queen. Was it Queen? No.
What's that?
Who did the fucking there was like a specific group that did all the soundtrack for the David Lynch Dune.
Oh, I don't know. Someone in the chat will probably know that one. Maybe even Hate Machine.
No, I'm thinking fucking Highlander. Highlander was Queen.
I was gonna say that's a completely different movie and band.
So somebody figured out who did the soundtrack for. Anyway, long story short, the peak of Dune fever is coming.
Yeah,
and they have no less than 3 games in the works based on the
like
Dune
official?
license. Yes.
Okay.
Licensed Dune games. Highlander was Queen. Who the hell did the Dune original?
Like the David Lynch.
The David Lynch one.
There you go.
And yes, I did see the sci-fi miniseries. It was excellent. It was far better than the movie. Toto? No.
I think he's trolling.
That does not seem to be correct. I'll know it the second I see it. Anyway, so there are 3, one of which is actually a Dune MMO.
Okay.
It's being made by Funcom.
That's pretty ballsy, honestly.
Well, I mean, I could see it, right? Like, there's so much political and like they have like a whole world already planned out.
That's what I want. I want political intrigue in my MMOs.
Well, in an MMO, right, it's just going to be like, oh, it's politics. Now go get me 3 rat tails.
Hate Machine says for real, Toto did the soundtrack for the David Lynch Dune movie.
Really?
So I don't know. I'm sure you can look it up, if you want, but that's odd to say the least.
That seems questionable.
I don't remember hearing the song Africa in that movie at all.
No. Anyway, so there's no other details on the other games yet, but I'm really hoping in my heart of hearts that they go back to their strategy game roots and we get like another RTS out of Dune.
I would be surprised if they didn't do one because that's one of the main things that people remember about Dune is that original Westwood one.
Or even a remake of the original game, like where you actually had the story of Paul Atreides and like unifying Dune under the Fremen and everything. It would be awesome.
So you don't.
Wow. Okay, Ishigo confirms it.
So you're saying you don't want a Dune battle royale?
On
your phone.
You have a phone.
Yeah, you have a phone, don't you?
Not after I threw it through the television at E3. Anyway, so Dune 2 was effectively it wasn't the first RTS, but it was literally the game that coined the term real-time strategy.
Yeah. And that goes way back.
Right. And it was responsible for a lot of the refinements that carry forward in real-time strategy going like to today even. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Long story short, I love Dune RTS.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one.
So Epic Games, they're getting sued again.
Taking on everyone, aren't they? I mean, that's the problem. You come in with that big swinging dick like that, everyone's gonna attack you. So
well, there's
so what do they want this time?
There's one that's good for them and one that's bad for them.
Okay.
The ones that's bad for them. You remember suddenly out of the blue a couple of weeks ago, they said, "Oh, we're gonna change our loot boxes so you can see what's in them. You know exactly what you're gonna get."
Yeah, sure do.
Just for no reason at all, but here you are.
Yeah.
Just for you. So turns out that they're being sued by the parents of an underage kid who spent something like $5,000 on loot boxes. And it's the same thing. It's the plaintiff claims there's small chances of it dropping a rare item, and they don't tell you what the chances are. So now, of course, you can actually see what they are before you buy them, but it's too late.
Yeah.
It was he spent all this money back then. It's during the Save the World mode, not the new Battle Royale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this was ages ago. So anyway, they're on a lot stronger legal footing than the other fucking lawsuit. It is this time being filed by former basketball players Jalen Brantley and Jared Nickens, suing Epic over the usage of the Running Man, which they created, apparently.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Right. So if fucking Alfonso Ribeira can't get the Carlton, good luck trying to patent. They're trying to patent the Running Man. Like,
that's going to get thrown out in 48 hours. Like, just isn't going to fly.
Yeah, I'm surprised you'll even make it to the court.
Yeah. No, that's ridiculous. Then, if that one went forward, I would be absolutely shocked if that made it anywhere near a courtroom.
Yep.
Because that's fucking ridiculous.
Until we find out that it turns out that Epic actually pissed off Trump, and then they're going to have a guy,
They're going to have that guy.
Straight.
Honestly, even the first one there with the kid and the loot boxes and stuff like that.
Oh, they can make a case for that.
They're going to make a case, but nothing's going to happen.
It's about Epic's
going to be like, hey, parents, here's $10,000.
Oh,
Fuck off.
No, it'll absolutely be settled at a court because they don't want to admit guilt, but they just want it to go fucking away.
The other part about it too is they want it to disappear as fast as possible, so they're just going to whip that wallet out, give them like chump change, and be done with it. But still, if they fought in court, they would have a hard time with that because, again, there's no way to prove exactly that it was targeted towards the kids, and also, what the fuck is your kid doing with the ability to spend $5,000 of your money?
If it's one of those things. If it's just attached to your account, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. Long story short,
Parents' fault. They have auto-locked
I know that,
fucking shit.
I know
for
that, and
stuff.
you know that. But the point is, it's still even if it wasn't a kid, if it was an adult that did that, they could still claim like deceptive practices, encouraging gambling, like all the bullshit watchwords that are gonna make them look bad in the eyes of the public. So yeah, like you say, it will probably be settled at a court.
The kid probably doesn't even play the game. It was the dad, and then he's like, "Oh, the kid bought all the loot boxes. Oh, let's go after Epic."
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm betting that the Epic lawyers will do the Running Man out of the fucking courtroom
as they're fucking just making it rain.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
Yeah.
Go enjoy your life.
So, fun fact though, turns out that Fortnite's revenue is down almost 50% from December.
And this surprises somebody?
Oh, yeah. Well, that Fallout 76 put a big dent in their revenue.
Yeah, that hurt them bad.
Yeah. So it might signal the end of Fortnite's dominance, but, I mean, we had Apex Legends, we had Anthem as well.
Yeah.
We have, 4 other game-as-a-service games on the horizon.
Of course, yeah.
So
I think
that's
the hot ticket. I mean,
the worm has turned.
If you didn't see it coming... What the fuck are you doing with your life? How do you not understand? This is how these things happen.
Player Unknown would like to share a drink with you because how did you not see it coming?
Oh, right, those guys.
Yeah. Wonder whatever happened to his lawsuit. Probably dismissed.
Yeah, dismissed. They probably just threw some money at it and called it a day.
Speaking of lawsuits, back in October, Sony sued a guy called Eric David Scales. He's a Californian. He faced allegations of selling jailbroken PS4 consoles loaded with pirated games.
Okay.
So Sony decided the amount of $16,800 in damages, and they went after this guy. So it's the amount that he was selling on his website, all the consoles, and they actually went easy on him. It was only the ones that were actually there for sale.
Yeah.
Who knows how many he'd already sold.
They could have fucking driven him into the ground for doing that shit.
So that plus the court fees. They just want to make an example of this guy.
Yeah.
So $16,800, and turns out the reason it happened so quickly is the guy didn't show up.
Oh, really?
Didn't even show up to court. So it says Sony had a choice to just move directly to judgment, and they went, yes, please.
Yeah.
And that was that. So default judgment, Sony, $20K in their pocket. I think it's really kind of sad how Soulja Boy is really scraping the bottom of the barrel these days. So,
basically the same thing.
Yep. So
yeah, and Tron, that's true. Down 50%, still larger than most countries' yearly GDP.
Yeah. So they only made $1 billion that month or something. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, for those people who have a backlog problem, like I do, you better clear your calendar because we've just gotten the confirmation of the North American date for a fantastic game the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Oh, yes.
So that is coming. It's containing the first 3 games. Once again, that's Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. I was a huge fan of those games back in the DS, back in the day, regardless of how fucking silly they were. But that's coming out April the 19th. Kind of wish they'd done another Harvey Birdman game, actually.
I mean, yeah, that'd be nice, but just
Birdman!
definitely looking forward to that one. I really hope that if that one is successful, they go ahead and do some more of the games too.
How many were there at all? I lost track when it was like
there was the Miles Edgeworth
right.
one.
I think
there
that's
was
where I stopped playing them.
2 Apollo Justice ones. There was the weird crossover one with Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton. And then
I didn't play that one at all. No.
And then there was, I think, one more proper Phoenix Wright one or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. There was a bunch of them because they're wildly popular. They're easy enough to make and stuff because they're not graphically expensive or any of that. It's just writing. Like that's all it is.
Objection.
Yeah, but yeah, tons of fun. I fucking love those games.
Lots of fun. So April the 19th. Yeah. Speaking
yes, and the story so far is coming out in Canada in like 2 weeks also. So for those of you,
is it finally coming in Canada?
Yeah,
oh, good.
I was shocked by that because we were getting Kingdom Hearts 3. We had all these like previous 2.8 versions and stuff like that. It's like, why didn't you give us the story so far for people that wanted to play the whole story up until 3, and then they play that after.
The only thing I could think of is something about localization having the bilingual French, because that's the only reason I guess
that's true. Yeah, that's always a hiccup for some of that stuff.
Sometimes the same reason we didn't get the Stranglehold with the hard boiled.
Yeah,
I got one. Had to order it from the States. Anyway, speaking of objectionable, we talked about Left Alive earlier.
Yes.
And that's coming out tomorrow.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the sore spot for you.
I was really looking forward to that game. I have both of the North American Front Mission games, so Front Mission 3 on the PS1, Front Mission 4 on the PS2. I even have Front Mission Evolved for the PS3. And that's,
even though you don't like that one.
It's like Armored Core really, really light.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Here's Armored Core with 6 pieces.
Right. So I figure, though, Metal Gear Solid style game, but still with Wanzers. I mean, like, this looks really cool. And
I mean, that on paper sounds fucking amazing.
So, like, middle of last week, beginning of last week, I started to realize that something was up because we weren't getting a review copy, like, at all. So we did some digging, and turns out that pretty much no one had. I think physical review copies showed up at a few places on Friday.
Okay.
Not many at all. So it came out on February the 28th in Japan, and it turns out that the negative reviews have had such an impact. It is on Amazon Japan. Yeah. It is 1.8 out of 5 stars.
Ooh.
Square has already cut prices on the game.
And it hasn't even come out yet.
No, but this is how you know that it's really in trouble.
Okay.
They have disabled the ability to stream from the PS4 for the game.
Fuck, really?
They had it originally, but suddenly now people can't do it anymore.
So people can't stream it. Like, look at this train wreck we're playing right now.
Disabled without comment from Square Enix.
So because it's out in Japan, obviously there are people who have their hands on the full game.
Correct.
What's the deal? What went wrong?
Well, let me see if I can explain it succinctly. I
want more than a 2-word answer on this.
It isn't very good.
Well, that was technically more than 2 words, I guess. So I got what I asked for.
Not that I'm bitter.
No, but is it like? Is it broken? Is it buggy? Is it glitchy?
Is it
ugly?
Technical mess. It's just bad.
Just fucked on all fronts, basically.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, let me just put it this way. I'm going to wait until it reaches Murdered Soul Suspect levels.
Okay, so like the $5 bin.
If it's 10 or 15, I will splurge.
You'll dive in just because you like the universe?
Maybe by then the patches will have brought it up to a only marginally unplayable. Right? That extra 0.2 of a star.
Yeah.
Just to bring it up there. Anyway, it's supposed to be out tomorrow, so if anyone has that pre-book, not too late to get your money back.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Because the way you were talking about it, it sounded like it was going to be the next awesome thing for us to play.
Do you remember, I think it was E3 last year, or it was PSX the year before.
Okay.
One of the we actually streamed it, and we all went, because it was fucking Front Mission.
I mean, I saw giant mechs, so of course I was like, oh!
Yes.
Because they're my favorite.
It looked really good. Unfortunate. Anyway, so it turns out that Kingdom Hearts 3 is not the last Kingdom Hearts game.
Yep. That's all I'll say.
That is technically accurate.
That is technically accurate.
Yes. But there is a brand new Kingdom Hearts game coming out in the near future.
Really?
And yes, unfortunately, it is a board game.
Oh.
Even more unfortunately, it is Talisman Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, really?
Because I know how much you love Talisman.
For fuck's sakes. That is like the worst game that... I would rather have Kingdom Hearts fucking Monopoly rather than fucking Talisman.
Oh.
Talisman is basically like D&D Monopoly. Like, it is the worst.
No, I think I'd still rather have Talisman. Monopoly? Really? No.
That's the joke. It's that fucking bad. I hate
I don't
Talisman.
think it's quite that bad. I understand.
One of the worst of those games I've ever played.
Could be worse. Could be like Talisman Story or something.
Or Talisman Monopoly.
Yeah, we're combining the wrong things anyway at this point. So, Sora, Kari, Riku, King Mickey, and other fan favorite characters.
Like, it's interesting that they wanted to go in that direction. Like,
Sure.
I'm not opposed to video game board games. As we've seen, there's
Right.
been lots of awesome ones coming out, some of them out and having good reviews.
The Warhammer Talisman wasn't bad. Relic.
Unless they changed, like, half the fucking rules.
No. I mean, it was just a skin. But
Just a
the
coat
good
of
news
paint.
is, if you like brightly colored boards and components, Fantasy Flight has got your shit covered.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I would have actually kind of been intrigued by a Kingdom Hearts board game,
See-
but if it's Talisman, I don't give a fuck now.
Radiophage is like Sophie's Choice over there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both terrible, don't get me wrong, but out of the two, I would absolutely pick Talisman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then I would be upset that we had to play a shitty game.
I guess the only difference is I know that I've finished a game of Monopoly. I have never finished a game of Talisman because I was just like, about 6 hours in, I was like, well, fuck this. This is stupid and boring.
No, I know that every game of Monopoly I've played has finished the same way. It's like, can we just stop? So, anyway, Dying Light, you know, their publisher Techland,
Yeah.
they are shutting down publishing operations.
Oh,
But
okay.
don't worry, it's not going to affect Dying Light 2.
So they're just keeping like their team on to like build the game, but they're not
No,
taking on anything new?
They are still going to develop the game. They are not doing any more third-party publishing.
Okay, yeah.
So,
they're just focusing on
right.
Dying Light.
So, local distribution of third-party box goods in Poland. It's going to be completed by the end of 2019. They're going to let go 13 employees, but they're all going to receive severance packages, blah, blah, blah. But this is like a warehouse and distributing kind of issue.
Right.
So it's a logistics issue, not a team development.
Not an Activision fuck you 800 people get out kind
No.
of situation.
No. So, and they're not getting surprised either. It's not like, ha!
Yeah. Gotcha.
This is not like
Fuck.
a Bluth corporation where you take your computers out to the truck and everything. Also in financial issue news, Good Old Games announced this week that they are ending their fair price package.
Okay.
Which ends on March the 31st. So this was the program that in some areas where games were more expensive, they would actually give you back sort of the difference in credit.
Okay.
So unfortunately, it turns out that they are apparently having a bit of a debt problem at the moment. They are very near to going under, which is shocking because they are owned by CD Projekt Red.
Maybe Cyberpunk is sucking a little too much money out of that end of things.
Maybe, or for that matter, like the Epic Games Store has sucked the wind out of their sales too, because they also have
that would definitely hurt it too.
They also have the 70-30 split, so that's gonna gut their new sales. And for old stuff, Steam has most of the old shit these days.
Yep, that's true.
You know, it's not like there's something on Steam that's too fucking old.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I can get the original Master of Orion on Steam, like
I think you can fucking play Pong on Steam.
the original XCOM, like the original Civilization, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
shit that used to come in those boxes that are like this fucking big, and you bought them at like fucking EB
Magic.
Games and stuff like that.
right.
You bring that bad boy home, and you're just like, oh, I got my new computer game. It's almost as big as the fucking computer that I'm playing it on. And you open the box, and there's like 2 discs in there with an instruction manual, and they're just flapping around.
It's just a download code.
I mean, that's what some of them were like. It was literally you open a CD case, and there's like a code printed, and you're like, what is this? What did I pay for?
Yeah. All right, and we have some news about Final Fantasy VII. It's coming out. It's coming out very soon.
I was gonna say, is it good news? Is it bad news? Is it?
Yes, it's coming out very soon.
Okay.
For the Switch, and it's
Right.
the original version.
Yeah, that's.
And fucking Square did it again.
I mean, yeah, that's.
They
You know
got
what?
us. They got us again.
I'm honestly not surprised.
No,
just,
not at all.
Just by the fact that
They are so fucking out of touch.
They're well, no, not just that, but I mean they're releasing older or palatable stuff on Switch, and for Switch owners that may have never played it or Switch is their only console or something like that, it gives them a chance to play that, and that's a bit of an injection of money for Square. Obviously, they're not going to make fucking hundreds of millions of dollars off of it or anything like that, but it's an extra flow that they can get that they probably didn't have to really pay anything for. Because they've already ported 7 to everything. I can fucking play it on my phone if I want.
Almost as many things as Skyrim at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. You can't play it on a bread maker, but it's pretty close.
Maybe if you...
Smart bread maker.
Maybe a smart bread maker. I don't know.
that's too close to that Red Dwarf toaster.
When does Square not screw us over somehow? Yeah, that's kind of their MO now, so that's why it's like... I love the idea of the 7 remake, but until I have it like in my hands and it doesn't suck, I'm kind of just whatever.
Ask me again when they start making Deus Ex games again. Then we'll talk.
Well, it's gently placed on their shelf right now, so there is that.
Yeah.
It's still there. It's in visual range, just they're not working on it.
Nope.
Or so they say anyways.
Yep. All right, some quick hits. Days Gone. Coming out shortly. I think that's out April the 26th.
I was going to say that must be soon now, because they gave it a big push a couple weeks back.
Couple months, yeah. It's going to have 6 hours of cutscenes, and the main story will take about 30 hours to complete. That's not including side missions. So that is
that's solid.
Beefy game. I'm hoping... I'm kind of concerned that it's going to like not be as strong as I'm hoping it is, but we'll see.
It might be one of those games that it doesn't do as strong because it doesn't really have an identity of its own, but if you dive in and really experience what the game is, you'll have a good time with it.
I'm worried it's going to kind of turn out like Mafia 3, where the story will be great, but the gameplay will just be average.
Just kind of, it does everything it's supposed to, but it doesn't really do anything amazingly.
We'll see. I mean, it's just zombies and crafting again. Like, I'm just hoping that it's got its own identity.
Yeah.
Guerrilla Games took the opportunity on Horizon Zero Dawn's second anniversary to announce that it has sold over 10 million copies. That's crazy for Horizon. It's been 2 years. It's was our game of the year 2 years ago.
Yep.
The year it was released, 10 million copies. That's Guerrilla's biggest game.
But it shows, and it's one of those things that, that's why, again, you point to the bigger ones like Ubisoft and EA and all those guys, Activision, like, don't be afraid of new IPs. Try new things, because shit can work. But put your time in. Don't just shit it out and be like, hey, it's a new IP. You guys like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, did you care about it?
It's been 2 years, though. I wonder if we're going to see another one before the next generation one or not.
I think they're probably shooting for pure next gen because, I don't know. I'd almost feel like they'd be shooting themselves in the foot if they tried to cram one in the next like year or two. Maybe. And just go full next gen and just go with that instead.
Really kind of depends on what their slate is like for the rest of the year, because they have got Days Gone and they've got Ghost of Tsushima, maybe.
Yeah.
They've got what else? Like Final Fantasy VII, maybe. They've got The Last of Us 2, maybe. We don't have a confirmed...
A lot of ones up in the air for that right now.
And a lot of those are going to be cross-generational anyway.
Yeah.
Not to be outdone, Rockstar Games had an announcement as well about Red Dead Redemption 2. They have touted that they've achieved 275 perfect scores from reviewers and 175 Game of the Year awards.
Oh, fuck.
That is insanity.
Did they buy a warehouse to have all their awards in?
You would think, right? They are the highest rated game on the PS4 at this point, obviously. That's craziness. That's insanity.
I mean, it's one of those things that you work on a game for 7 years and you put in $500 million to build the damn thing, then it's probably going to be a pretty good game at that point. I would hope anyways.
That is true. All right. Atlas surveyed their fans recently to find out if there's interest in Persona 6 on some unusual platforms. In addition to PS4 and PC, they asked about porting it to either the Switch or mobile. Obviously, Vita and DS were not included this time.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see those anymore, sadly.
I could see them having like one of those kind of side partner game kind
you
of
have a
things
phone,
where
don't you?
Like you interact with the game in some way, but as far as a core
Right.
title goes, yeah, don't try to cram it down onto a fucking phone.
It was super useful for Assassin's Creed and for like Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, see, like fun little side projects like
Right.
that interact with
Like
the console
second
game you're
screen stuff,
playing.
right?
Yeah, like that's fine.
But
Well, especially with Persona, and you have like because you're a student in those, so maybe you have your daily planner, and there's like interactive games you can play and stuff.
you
like
have to
that.
actually do quizzes and stuff.
Yeah, just like shit like that, and you get extra money in the game or something. I'm totally down for stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as if you try to take a PS4 game and you cram it onto a phone, it's like, no, don't fucking do that.
In Persona, all it's going to be is a real-time clock, so you can just sweat more.
What the fuck? Almost out of time. Gotta go.
God damn it, just so stressful. Fun fact. 11 months ago, a Redditor posted a leaked map from what they claimed at the time was the next Titanfall game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it turns out now, almost a year later, it was the actual Apex Legends map.
Oh.
And nobody believed him. It got no upvotes at all.
Yeah.
It has only 14 comments on it, and the only comments are saying, this is fake.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, you know what's funny, Radiophage? I had a hankering for Vanquish the other day.
Oh, Vanquish is
and I
so
realized that they never did end up releasing it on PS4.
They didn't.
And that makes me
shockingly.
sad, but apparently the PC version is quite good.
It is.
It's an absolute upgrade from the 360 and PS3 versions of it, so I might just have to pick that up and play that one.
It's kind of surprising that they never brought those those PC converted ones over the PS4.
Yeah, like the Bayonetta and the Vanquish
Yeah.
one, like slap those on PS4. I'll fucking buy them.
Yep.
Vanquish is still one of my favorite games.
Yep. It's not like they can't use the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, we talked about Toe Jam and Earl earlier. There's one piece of information that went largely unnoticed. The game's executive producer was Macaulay Culkin.
Wait, what?
As a big fan of the Toe Jam and Earl franchise, this is the press release,
Okay.
the incredible Culk has been quite vocal about his love of the game on social media. Culkin brought plenty of input to the table, representing the loyal fan base and making sure the game would be as groovy and funky as the original title while receiving plenty of modern updates.
Man, talk about the 90s just crashing together there.
Says Culkin, I'm honored to be producing the new Toe Jam and Earl because it is literally my favorite video game of all time. Plus, and I quote, Greg Johnson is the tits.
That definitely sounds like something Macaulay Culkin would say.
To be fair, he's absolutely correct. Greg Johnson is the tits.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's in writing now.
He's the guy who designed Starflight, the original Starflight.
That's right.
game.
Yes, I was
Such
watching,
a bizarre fucking combination.
I was watching a history of Toe Jam and Earl, and that's right.
Yep.
That did come up. So what an odd situation. But apparently,
Right?
it was his love of aliens.
Yep.
That set that whole thing
Makes
off.
sense though.
Yeah.
All the design of those, like there were
Absolutely.
some weird ass aliens in that game. Yeah.
Oh, and one of the things I learned from that video too is that their original names weren't Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh.
That was actually a mistake because the guy who he was working with misheard him when he said the names.
Oh, what did he?
But then when they changed them, they liked them better because their actual names were going to be Flow Jam and Whirl. But the guy misheard him and wrote down Toe Jam and Earl.
That's so much better.
And then when he put it in the game, he's like, oh, those aren't their names, but I like those better. So, because again, it was supposed to be that
Yeah.
funky rap kind of thing. So it worked, but yeah, I like Toe
Yeah.
Jam and Earl better. It's definitely more character driven.
Yeah, I definitely say it wouldn't have gotten nearly as much attention if it was just Flow Jam and Whirl.
Yeah. I guess Earl is is a much better name for a character
It
that
is.
looks like that instead of Whirl. That
Yes.
doesn't sound like a big, fat potato looking guy.
Yeah. Plus, that's right up there with like Ballistic X versus Sever for bad titles.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah, and Ichigo, that's true with the Bayonetta thing. That's
Yeah.
basically Nintendo's pocket now, so we're never gonna see that on.
Well, they have the publishing rights to the second and third ones. The first one still Platinum could easily bring that over.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo was like, "Yeah, don't release that on anything else now."
Well, still, that's fine. I can live without Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I would
just
love
give me
to see
Vanquish.
Vanquish.
Fuck, I love Vanquish.
I can only imagine Vanquish would be easier to complete all those challenges with not a DualShock 3.
That's true. Although technically, you play it on PC, you play with a DualShock 4, then,
I guess that's fair.
and then you're good.
Yeah, but then I would never complete my PS3 Platinum. I still have like 2 more levels to go. Like
Yeah.
the last one and one in the middle. And Jesus Christ.
Radio Page, that's true. Flow General sounds like a game about a laundry machine.
Full Jam and Whirl. Yeah. Sounds like old seniors in a Florida laundromat. This is like the show about them. Yikes. What?
What?
I said I don't have any more fabric softener.
Worst game ever.
What? Anyway.
Okay, what else you got?
Big ticket. Anthem.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were waiting for that. So, what's
Yeah.
the deal? I've been kind of like radio silence on Anthem so far.
Yeah.
I see it go by, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to read it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I had to put in the music puns, though. Someone talked about loot boxes, L-U-T. I'm like, Anyway. So, we got a fair bit of Anthem news.
Oh, there you go. Ichigo just covered it. They fucked up.
Yeah, they done fucked up. Oh, 4 or 5 different ways. Like, yeah, they're well fucked and far from home. So there's a bunch of unrelated news that's all jumbled together into one proper fucking for
Okay,
Anthem.
lay it out.
So, we don't know how it goes, but we'll play it by ear.
But wait, don't you have a
I do.
rim shot on there or
Not
something?
worth it. So, players are feeling the nerf bat a couple times over. So they had fixed a problem with the legendary and masterwork items dropping too much.
Okay.
So they fixed them. Yeah. So
Fix the items or fix the drop
fix
rate?
the drop rate.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first patch happened on Friday. It also had the side effect of increasing certain other drop chances. So that they didn't want because, fuck you.
We're going to make you pay for that good.
Yeah, so they identified the problem and they reverted it back, that aspect to it, 11 hours later. So, of course, the community went, no. So here are some of the biggest upvoted comments on Reddit. I put 87 hours into this game in the past week. Playing after the loot nerf is the first time I've noticed a lack of enjoyment from Anthem, the game. Oh, and thank you for the host.
Thank you
That's
very much for
original.
that.
Welcome all to the stream. Book. Fire
Came
up
in
a Chiron.
just in time for the big ticket. We're talking
Yep.
about Anthem and how they fucked up this
They
week.
done fucked up. Another one. Nothing will kill this game faster than scarce loot drops from Anthem the game. Post-patch loot, whether it was a bug or not, is no longer enjoyable from Anthem the game. I think Anthem/BioWare could learn from Diablo 3 when it comes to loot. Be generous. So, like a lot of these, like saying it's no longer enjoyable, it can't play it anymore is a bit hyperbolic. But I mean, it comes down to the fact that Anthem is a single-player game.
Mm-hmm.
There is no multiplayer economy. There's no multiplayer crucible mode or PvP.
Not yet, anyways.
So what does it matter if there's too much loot?
Yeah.
Except the fact that it gets you off the treadmill.
That's the main thing is, of course, they want to constrain those drop rates because
Right.
they want people to open their fucking wallets, which they already did when they bought your fucking game,
Yeah,
EA.
they want to drip feed you, right? So get on your fucking hamster wheel like a good little drone. So on the same topic, Anthem, there's a streamer called Glad who is streaming. He was farming some of these legendary drops,
Okay.
their masterwork drops. So it's kind of the same thing as in Destiny, where you had like the chest circuit. You went and you unlocked all the chests and you got all your shit. He went like for days doing this, and he put up a stream for hours. He had like a couple hundred people watching him. Then they went and they made a how-to video. And turns out EA didn't want anyone to get off the hamster wheel, so they banned him for life for exploiting the game's economy.
What?
Yep.
It's in the game. He didn't break anything. That is literally something you can do in the fucking game.
Ironically, the EA Sports was not part of it, but it was in the game.
Zing.
Dun-dun-dun. No, I heard it, and I'm like, I gotta jump on that shit. So this Friday patch, right, was the thing that was supposed to fix what he was exploiting back in the thing. So he live streamed for apparently a whole day.
Yeah.
And then he put up this video, and that was when they banned him. So, yeah, they nerfed the shit out of that, just like they did in Destiny. Just don't get off your fucking treadmill.
Fucking yikes.
Right? I could see it if it was something like Destiny where you had the Crucible, right? But even then, your equipment was somewhat scaled so that you wouldn't like be too far out of the way if you come in at a low level than a high level.
If you're playing a game
Yeah.
and you figure out a way to play the game in a convenient way that farms you gold or weapons or whatever the fuck it is, and you are not breaking the game in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
You're not glitching, you're not cheaping a boss, you're not, like, doing some weird thing where you're shooting through cover so it doesn't kill you or something. Like, you are not breaking the game in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Like, I wish that guy had money to get lawyers to go after them, because fuck EA, seriously. What the fuck is wrong with them?
Okay, so apparently he complained. Demoblade says they reduced his ban to 2 weeks.
Yeah, because they probably knew they were going to get, like, the fucking lashing of a lifetime if they
Right.
kept him permabanned.
I mean, like, exploits are one thing, but I mean, if your game is buggy as Anthem is...
But you're not exploiting anything. You are literally just running laps around a game.
Yeah, apparently he also did a glitch as well for duplication or something, so...
Okay, that's different.
That's
because
different.
he is breaking the game then.
But even still, like, initially to get it, like, a permanent ban, that's pretty harsh.
Like, literally, that would be like when I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Just confiscate his shit and move on.
When I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3,
Yeah.
there's rate drops for these, like, comets that you break open to get gummy ship parts.
Right.
I made myself kind of like a lap track thing of these crystals that you have to break apart to get these parts.
Yeah.
I was literally just doing laps, breaking these crystals to get these, like, rare things.
Yeah, but that's like any RPG, you're just grinding.
That's my point. That
Yeah.
would be like Square banning me if I made a video about just do this lap and you'll collect these items. And they're like, nope, you can't play our game anymore.
The difference is that because it's a game as a service game, they want you to be on the treadmill, so you'll want to buy shit in the store for real money.
Yeah, but AKA, fuck you, EA.
Yeah. If they couldn't monetize their game, it would be a whole other thing. So anyway, the good news is that they fixed the fixed patch, so that can't happen.
Yeah.
One problem, though.
Yep.
Now that they fixed the fixed issue,
Yep.
and no one can have fun playing the game anymore,
Yeah.
it's apparently bricking some people's PlayStations.
Yes. There it is, Ichigo. That's what you were hoping for.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? Like,
It either crashes or it errors out or it literally shuts down your system, and some of them are bricking so that you have to go in through the safety menu and effectively re-index your PlayStation to be able to get back online.
Jesus
Not online, but
Christ.
get the thing even powered up. You have to go into safe mode to even get it to turn on. Like, that is some hardcore, hard lock fucking bullshit.
yeah, like, I've seen some bad crashes before, and we've seen
Yep.
some bad glitches and stuff, and especially in, like, Bethesda games and stuff like that. It's pretty rare when that fucking stuff happens.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, but I read that Sony was offering no questions asked.
Correct.
Returns.
Oh, yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
They're offering no questions asked refund, which I'm sure EA loves.
Yeah, well, fuck them, right?
Well, if it depends on who you talk to. Like, I got way back in the day the Tiger Squad or Flying Tiger port of the Kerbal Space Program for the PS4. It literally, like, corrupted the save after you got a certain port, like a certain size of your file, and they had no fix, so they gave me like the $40 back, despite the fact I had like 10 or 20% of the trophies or something, which is like way beyond what they
But
would
still,
normally do.
that's
Right.
good on them, because they're like, yep, we fucked up. The game is broken.
Right.
You can't play it past a certain point, so we'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, if it's bricking your system, that's when they start bricking their pants.
and I mean, there's that, and then it's like, okay, so EA is going to suck all the fun out of it, and then they release an update that's bricking people's systems. I'd say your only course of action is to start offering refunds at that point.
I'd say.
Like, what else are you going to do after that? Like, oh, don't worry, we'll fix the fix that we fixed
Yeah.
last week. And,
Yeah.
and the people that were in charge of the fix will be sacked, and those people...
Oh, man. And still so many people have EA's microcock so far up their ass that they're still being apologists for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Destiny reflex again.
It's the reach out of, like, oh, well, we have something to play that isn't Destiny now, so we can make fun of the other guy, or whatever. Or there's people that were just so on board with it now they're gonna die on that hill.
It's you can either call it Stockholm syndrome or dissonance reduction. Either way, generally it's people trying to reinforce the fact that they made this purchase and it's a great game. I love the treadmill.
I'm enjoying my time so much. Help me.
I dropped the burrito in the hot oil.
At least they got past, being able to click X to play.
Yes, Discount brought up a good point. At least they got farther than I did when I was playing the demo, where I couldn't even launch the fucking mission.
That's
literally
critical.
all I got to do was wander around in the bazaar, and it was just like, okay, well, fuck this.
All right. You know what time it is?
Yep, let's do it.
Well, we're running ahead of time today. We might actually get out of here early.
All right.
It's time to press select on the options menu. And this week,
You have a button for that.
It's not gonna work.
You broke it.
I did.
You broke the select button.
They heard it. I didn't. I got to turn on the monitor. Anyway, it's time to press select in the options menu. This week, we are doing a unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion?
Unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Wasn't that what we said we were going to do?
I threw it at you, and you were like, don't worry about it. So now we're here and floundering. There we go. Okay.
Well, I'm not floundering. You go first.
Yeah, that's why.
So tell me, Dan, what is your unpopular opinion? Which game do you hate that people love, or vice versa?
All right, this is going to be a big one. I hope I don't insult anyone in the chat. Dude, seriously.
Everyone likes a game that is or isn't a terrible game, regardless of what everyone else says.
Well,
you know it, I know it.
I'm going to apologize for Jack. You don't say fuck him to the people in the chat.
Hey, you know what? If they're going to take it so seriously that I don't like this game and therefore my identity is centered around this game, then seriously, fuck them.
We have better fans than that. They're not going to cancel our show because they don't like what we said about the game.
If I say I don't like blah blah.
Oh, James Green's already burn him.
Yeah, right. Although to be fair, when on Forge Works Yelling last week, when Ben said that he didn't like The Last of Us, I literally told him to go fuck himself.
I mean, that's to be
And
expected.
then I got up and I got off the stream for a second to cool down. So
had to go for a walk.
Yeah. Anyway,
this one, I was reminded of this one just because of a big release that is coming out soon for the Switch.
Sure.
So, as you know, I love Nintendo, love Mario, love Zelda, like all that stuff.
Don't we all?
I've got fucking Mario tattooed on my arm, so
you should see a doctor about that.
I like Nintendo. Okay.
Yes.
One of the things I don't like from Nintendo. And I just, maybe I was just the wrong age when this game came out, or I wasn't as, I didn't play it as much as everyone else did, but everyone is losing their shit over Animal Crossing right now. And I just don't understand it. I have never been an Animal Crossing fan.
Yeah.
I get the kind of, that kind of like sweet little town simulator and stuff. Like we have like Stardew Valley,
like Harvest Moon, right.
like those style of games and everything like that. But there was just something about Animal Crossing that was just so bland to me. It felt like a kid's game, and not just like a kid's game, but like here's something you could sit a like 4-year-old in front of, and they can just waggle the joystick, and they just have fun like walking in circles in the town or something like that.
Wasn't that the one that if you didn't maintain your town, you'd come back and it'd be all fucking overgrown and people starving to death and shit?
So again, like the tech was neat. The tech was definitely neat because it was one of those things that it was
just too demanding.
It was a persistent universe, so it wasn't like you came back the next day and your town was on fire and there was grass everywhere, but it was one of those things like if you stopped playing and you came back like a year later, there was like dust and cobwebs and there was overgrown like weeds everywhere.
Tamagotchi things, like Jesus Christ, I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah, but that's like demanding your attention every 10 minutes. This is if you played a couple times a week, you're good. But it's one of those town simulators.
Fuck you, brain age.
Where you
don't shame me.
You go in and you basically are like, oh, I need a place to live, and then Tom Nook gives you money, and he's just like, all right, you're my bitch now for the rest of your life because you owe me money for your house. And then you do random things around the town to make money back, like catching beetles and mowing the lawn and
just burn down Tom Nook's house.
And it's one of those things that like I guess it's definitely nostalgia for some people. I get it too, because I mean, like, I'm huge on nostalgia on certain games and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there was just always something about Animal Crossing. I was like, I played it, and again, maybe I was just a bit too old. I was out of that range for it, but it was just one of those things. Like, I never got what this fandom was, and then all of a sudden this year, like, because the new E3 year after year after year over the past few years, we had the people like, where's our new Animal Crossing? We'll fucking murder you if you don't give us a new game.
Jay Tukey says, the only enjoyment I get from the idea of Animal Crossing is the song by Starbomb where they basically call out Tom Nook for being a slave trader / slumlord / pimp. Which is
pretty much accurate. Yeah, it's pretty accurate, actually.
Shockingly accurate. That's hilarious.
But anyways, yeah, so it was one of those games like, everyone's clamoring for this game. They're finally getting their game. It's coming out. They've had the mobile version of it for about a year now, I think.
Yep.
And people are eating that up and whatnot. And yeah, it was one of those titles I just never got my head around. I didn't know why it was so popular, because there were other games that did the same thing, and I felt that they were better. There was more stuff to do. They were more entertaining. They had a better story.
You know what game, like classic, or not classic, but like that same kind of Animal Crossing era game that I would be playing right now if they remastered or even virtual console the shit out of it. Pikmin. Pikmin was great.
See, there you go. So that was one of those like weird fucking titles.
Definitely weird.
But that one was at least something different.
Yeah.
Like when you were playing that, you knew that you were playing like a new IP.
Right.
Like when Animal Crossing came out, I was just like, this is just like a furry simulator. Like I don't get it.
It was weird. It was weird.
But anyways, yeah. So that's
discount. Can I trouble you for a refill, sir?
So yeah. Anyways, what it comes down to is in my mind, that is absolutely an unpopular opinion with how wild the fan base is for that game and how much they were demanding the new one on the Switch and everything like that. So, I never really got that one. Maybe I'll see it in a different light when it comes out on the Switch. Maybe I'll give it a play again or something like that. But honestly, at this point, yeah, I don't really get it. It's not my thing.
I can see that. I mean, if you're not into those town sims or those relationship sim things where you have to like again, Harvest Moon is pretty much the best example of that.
It's just
same kind of thing, right?
Plays the shit out of that.
Yeah,
at least that one you can do multiplayer now.
And Stardew Valley has multiplayer. It has more of a storyline. It's just there's more. I feel that there's way more to do in that. And again, it speaks a little more to my mind because it's pixel art instead, so I enjoy it.
Tanuki once again with the hot take on Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is not a place you want to fuck around in. Now you're in Nookstown, where crazy shit goes down. So sell seashells and make some bells and shut your fucking mouth.
Yep, that's lyrics.
Nice
from the song.
I have to find this song now.
Yeah, it's quite good actually.
Yeah. Tom Nook's not fucking around.
You know what, Tanuki, you could actually post that link in there.
There you go. Do that.
So you can drop that on the people in the chat.
Watch that.
And James Serene wanted to point out that reminder: Furry Simulator 2019 drops on Steam this month.
Is that from Janus Marine LLC? It's for mobile, right?
Yeah, only if it's on mobile. Right. He only deals in mobile games.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of which, now that Janus Marine is talking about shit, he's beaking off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna voice an unpopular opinion that might get me lynched
by the chat, by me, by the world.
It's the kind of thing like when I say I haven't had a chance to play Super Mario 64 yet, or not Super Mario 64. Is it Super Mario? It was just Mario 64.
Super Mario 64.
Yeah. Anyway, long story short, that was one of those really out there kind of things.
But you just never played it. It wasn't like you had a bad opinion.
I don't hate it.
You were just like you just never got a chance to play it.
One of those things, you know. I was too busy playing GoldenEye on the 64.
So what is the unpopular opinion that you'd like to bestow upon us?
Yeah, so Half-Life 2, not that good. It's not really that good.
Now, all right. Now, I thought you said you haven't played it. Or
I've tried. I have played it. I have not finished it.
Okay.
I've tried to play that game so many fucking times because it's on everyone's goddamn list about it's one of the best games ever. Like 10 games you have to play before you die.
Yeah.
Somebody's bucket list always has goddamn Half-Life 2.
I literally have a coffee table book that's 1,001 games that you have to play before you die. So
you want
to talk about a backlog?
Yeah. So here's the thing, and Tron says that Half-Life 2 was decent when it was released in 1657. Yeah.
Wow, computers are older than I thought they were.
Yes. 1657, it was a Steam-based engine. It displayed at a shocking 10:8 resolution.
It was literally hand-animated in front of you on a Steam engine.
Monks with their quill, right? It had a crispy 1 frame every 2 or 3 hours.
But it looked great.
Right? It was like a zoetrope. You could only play it on the zoetrope.
So I have to ask you out the gate right now.
Yes.
Please tell me you did not try to play the orange box version of it.
No, I played it on PC.
Okay, good. That's at least a good start. Okay.
No, like
because if you were saying like your first experience with Half-Life 2 was on the orange box, I'd be like, you gotta not play it on that.
my first experience with Half-Life 2 was roughly concurrent with my first experience with Steam.
Okay.
So like early days.
To be fair, that was one of the main titles they had on there. So
it was the game that launched Steam.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Back when Steam, your library.
Yeah.
Could actually fit in one window.
Yes.
Because that was all the games they had on Steam.
As at that point, I had Half-Life and like Team Fortress 2.
And maybe CSGO or something. Or,
well,
it
wasn't even CSGO. It was Counter-Strike Beta 17 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Half-Life 2, I've tried to play it.
So do you remember how far you made it into the game?
Almost the same spot each and every time do I stop. Is the thing... Actually, no, wait, that's not true. I kind of tried to make a concerted effort. I'm going to get all the way through it this time, and I'm going to, get to the end. Like, I'm in a fucking rush because the third one's coming out right away. I got through the boat area, which I stopped at a couple times before. Like, you're going from island to island, and you have to do shit.
It's the jet boat, yeah.
Yeah, jet boats rule. No. So you go in the fucking shipping container and find the alien there who's like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's making you fake IDs. I don't know what the fuck he's doing there. And then I got to the point where you were actually driving in the game.
In the dune buggy, yeah.
Yes. And it's like, fuck this shit. I understand the opening sequences, the environmental storytelling. It's great. The G-Man, yeah, it's creepy, blah, 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 whatever. You have your I don't even remember the bald guy's name who teleports you terribly and shit blows up and the head crab goes to the ducts and, oh, my head crab, whatever the fuck his name was. And then Alex. Everyone loves Alex.
I think that one was more or less because there weren't enough like female protagonists in games at that point. So
Phantasy Star.
You and your Phantasy Star.
1986 Phantasy Star. Just
that was like an 8-pixel tall, like little tiny representation of a character.
J.S. Breen hits the nail on the head. He figured it's the driving sequence that made me tap out.
Yep.
But it wasn't always. But
it's really unfortunate because it is true. The driving sequences aren't the best in that because, again, you're trying to put driving sequences in a first-person shooter in that era, like early 2000s, that it doesn't translate that great.
I'm just saying...
Because all the stuff around that is much better. It's more story-driven and stuff. It's hard to have a story-driven game when you're driving a jet boat.
I'm just saying that there were vehicle sequences in Wolfenstein, and it not only captivated me with its gameplay, but also with its actual story.
Again, you're comparing something from the early 2000s to the, like... the nuts.
No, I'm not talking about the New Order, the newer ones. I'm talking about like the PS3 era Wolfenstein, which I don't know exactly how that stacked up in terms of time, but roughly
that still would have been like 2010 or something like that. So,
whatever PS3.
About 8 years later.
Well, I'm just saying that I played it in the beginning, and it wasn't doing anything for me then either. So
I don't know. I guess part of it was, Damon Boy, that's true too. Like, you kind of made some of your own fun in it too with the grav gun and whatnot. Because that was a huge thing. Some people would call it like, it's a way to showcase the engine and stuff like that. But
I guess
I had a ton of fun. Yeah, you could pick up saw blades and fling them at the enemies and like slice them in half and stuff like that. So.
Whatever, I could like snipe a guy's head off from a million miles away in Unreal. Not Unreal Tournament, actual Unreal.
Well, yeah,
because that was a single player game.
Different things.
Yeah, so I mean, that was the fun that I was having in that era. Half-Life 2, just I don't know what it is about it. It just never really grabbed me. And just like I played all the way through the original Half-Life. We played so much of that multiplayer. CS:GO. We played was it Day of Defeat? We played fucking there was
Team Fortress.
4 or 5 other mods that we played on that.
Original Team Fortress?
Team Fortress.
Before it looked like a Pixar movie?
Right? Yeah, an original, like, Counter-Strike Beta 4, I think, is when we started. I didn't even know how many iterations they had, but we were in it early. So, yeah, Half-Life 2 just never really grabbed me.
That's unfortunate.
Not my thing. Unpopular opinions. Yeah. That's what it's for. Right?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not fucking, hanging you over it or anything like that, but it's just, it's unfortunate that you didn't see it like a lot of other people did, because it's... I don't know. It's definitely more interesting than Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I guess. I never really played Animal Crossing either, but I mean, it's not like I was in it expecting everyone, oh, this is the best game ever. And
yeah, that's true.
Plus, and here's the thing, I remember I had this argument with Travis. I was like, oh no, it's the best game. Go ahead, try it again. You gotta get all the way through it. I'm like, what's the rush? I could like hear that Half-Life 3 was being made, and I could get all the way through Half-Life 2 and all the way through Episode 1 and Episode 2 and still have like a year before it came out. Probably more.
Yeah.
So...
Well, now it's infinite at this point.
Well, who the hell knows, right? If it ever comes out, it's like... So...
Maybe they'll have to make it now that Epic's going to start eating the lunch.
Maybe, right? Like, that'd be the thing. You can only get that on Steam. Go fuck yourself, Epic.
Hey, it would be a good notch on their belt, that's for sure.
Or they'll just sink themselves permanently when it fails to live up to the monumental anticipation for a game that can't possibly meet it.
That would definitely be a big issue with that, too.
Right?
Because you would be in that kind of realm of, like, Duke Nukem or whatever. It takes,
Right.
it's like, oh, we only spent 12 or 15 years trying to
Right.
bring this thing out, so hope you guys like it.
Yeah, and 3D Realms is absolutely not fucking Valve. So
No,
who
and
knows?
and that's the other thing too, is like they'd have all the money, but I mean, still, you take that long to bring it out,
Yeah.
people may just not care anymore. So
Thank you
there's
for the follow, Multiplixer.
Plixer
Multiplixer. I'm assuming it's like multiplayer, but Plixer.
with an X in it.
Yes, he plexes multiple times. I don't know. Thanks for the follow.
Yes, thank you very much for the follow. If there's any questions floating around in the chat there, stuff, feel free to
Yeah,
ask that too.
we are
'cause
coming in under time today.
See, I told you we should have done a checkpoint today. We had more time to discuss.
I had news that I left on the table too. Nothing really.
Is it on the table over there?
It is not. Nothing really big in terms of
Yeah.
big news.
No, it's not the
It
post
is
no
not
discount.
the post notes. Under time, under budget.
All that budget.
Yes.
All that budget we don't spend.
Yeah, it's because we fired the warehouse crew. That was the thing.
All 13 of them?
Oh no, I know why we're on time.
Why are we on
There's
time?
No epic failure at the start.
We were still late at the start discount.
No, we had
it wasn't an epic failure by
wasn't
any
an epic
means,
failure.
but it was. We still went on late.
No, we had like a normal amount of news. That's like a 10-page script, which is about right. Just, for whatever reason, under time.
There it is.
There you go. Anyway, if only you were there. So, why? So you could talk about fucking Kingdom Hearts some more? I think James Marine will lose his shit.
I could be a proxy for that, but yeah, we don't want to talk about too much
No,
Kingdom Hearts.
I'm still going back to it. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, for as much hilarity is involved in that and the memes and everything like that, I really, honestly, after playing like just the 3 core games, just 1, 2, and 3, I think you will ultimately enjoy it.
Oh, I'm enjoying the first game. It was just that one level where it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then the only other one that you really have to watch out for
Yeah.
is unfortunately the very start of the second game.
Yeah.
It's about it feels like a 2-hour tutorial.
Well, you know what?
But outside of that, it gets really good. Like, you have to get past that initial part.
I can guarantee you that I will enjoy that more than like Jack 2, going back and forth across that fucking town.
Is it bad?
Oh, it's so bad. It's over and over again.
I've been really wanting to get it, like, I've been watching a lot of these reviews on like older games that I didn't get to play all that much of, like third person, like Sly Cooper, Jack.
Sly Cooper is excellent.
All those ones.
Them,
like I'm looking on Kijiji right now to get my hands on all those because I really want to just go and like play through all of them, all the remasters if there's ones available.
There's 4 Sly Coopers. There are remasters, and then the 4th one is like the brand new game that came out on the PS3.
So basically, I want to get my hands on the whole the older part of the Ratchet and Clank series.
Yep.
All the Sly Coopers,
and
and all the Jack and Daxter ones, and I want to play through them. Although that one out of all of them, unfortunately, the first one looks like pure genius.
First one's good,
and then 2 and 3 are just like, okay, I'll give it a try.
Favorite dinner food? Tacos. Tacos.
I like me some tacos.
like
I literally went to Taco Bell last night.
I mean, we keep doing taco roulette. Despite how badly it turns out each and every time.
I don't think I honestly don't know anyone that doesn't like tacos. So
tacos are nature's perfect food.
Yeah. If only they grew on trees.
Oh my god, we would be 900 pounds.
Pierogi roulette.
Ooh. I do like pierogies as well.
That one would be tough because you'd have to make the pierogies yourself because they're all sealed up and everything. Unless you got like a syringe with hot sauce and you just like pumped it in there.
Yeah. Pierogies are better. I don't know about that, Damon Blade. I don't know. If I had to, like, if it was one of those things like, what do they call it? It was like get rid of one forever.
Oh, well, yeah. It's kind of like you can only have one of these for the rest of your life. So which one would it be?
If you
be like bacon or steak or something like that. Like,
oh man, Sophie's choice. But if you had to get rid of either tacos or pierogies forever. I'm sorry, pierogies would go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love me some pierogies,
I like
but holy
pierogies.
shit.
Pierogies are great. But, I mean, tacos. Come on. Come the fuck on. Yeah, they are nature's perfect food. All right, well, we're coming in about 15 minutes early. Yeah. Just JT Nuki is now stimulating conversation at this point. Well, let's talk about what we're doing then for the rest of the week. Because we still have 3 other shows. Actually, no, 2 shows this week.
Yeah.
This is the off week for Player's Guide. So tomorrow is the 3rd episode of Four Jerks Yelling. We have a very special episode of Four Jerks Yelling. We are going to be talking about Metal Gear and not just
Is that a very special episode? That sounds like a
very
standard episode to me.
Metal Gear. No, we have one, potentially two, like weeb levels of intensity on Metal Gear lore and conspiracy
Okay,
theories.
good. They can fill in the blanks then, because again, like I've played most of the games. I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much everything I've played, but I'm not on that level of like I know all the ins and outs of every single game.
I mean, I'm up there to a point, but there is a level of depth to all the codex and all the lore.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
else,
Yeah.
all the fucking temporal anomalies.
Be
and
la
whatnot.
lule low.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess David Blade tried to say the Patriots. So, but if you could play one video game the rest of your life, which would you pick and why?
Metal Gear. I mean, I already know what mine is, but that's because I know basically what my most favorite game of all time is.
I mean, I don't know, like one forever.
It's typically, I mean, to be fair, your list.
2077.
What's that discount?
Until Cyberpunk 2077.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's true.
yeah, that's true. No, I mean, I want to do this someday. I want to make like a video of my top like 100 games of all time because I've seen a couple videos like that.
I could
and
do that,
It's
but-
very, very interesting because they always kind of preface it with this would almost change on a daily basis
Yeah.
of like where stuff shifts around. So it is kind of hard to pin
Sure.
down. I know honestly, one of my top 3 of all time, they'll kind of shift with each other, but typically the top one for me is Mega Man X for Super Nintendo. Like that is still by far one of my top games.
Yeah, I can see that would be definitely on the list. No, it's just when you get into the, one forever, it comes into like, what can you play forever? It may not be your favorite game
Yeah.
because, you wouldn't want to play it over and over again forever.
Oh, you dig Distance that hard, right? It's a good game.
EA wants that to be Anthem.
Distance.
Distance is like a Tron like racing game with like crazy Hot Wheels like loop de loops and saw blades that slice your car in half, and it's a really wild racing game.
Is he going the distance?
Don't even start.
Going for speed?
Oh, and before it disappears, they're multiplayer or multiplexer. I'm just gonna say multiplayer because it's easier to say.
Multiplexer.
Correct me, with it if I'm wrong. But
Maybe it's a silent X, like xylophone, multiplacer.
maybe. What is your favorite game? So you can type that in the chat too.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah. So that basically mine. I know yours would basically be Alpha Protocol. So
I mean, why wouldn't it be? Every discerning gamer loves Alpha Protocol. I don't know, like
you find some random way of bringing it up every single episode. So there is that.
Because it's one of those works of like absolute genius that is tragically flawed.
A tragic genius.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it like Indigo Prophecy?
It is not like Indigo Prophecy. Fuck that ending. Fuck that game. Fuck you, David Cage, for making it. Anyway, he's redeemed himself. He's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, the list, my top 10 are the obvious ones. It's going to be like The Last of Us. It's going to be probably Horizon made it.
But you can't pick that top one, like
like one forever. It would have to be something like Master of Orion or something. Where
something that's like infinitely replayable, basically.
Something that like changes every time, like a game of, I don't know, RimWorld or Alpha Centauri or something.
Alpha Protocol. That
Not Alpha Protocol,
That
no.
does not change every time.
Kind of does.
I mean, you have some agency, but
Yeah.
you're only gonna get so many endings.
Yeah, no, I like those strategy games that like you can replay in a number of different ways. I don't know.
Oh, Damon Blade says Dota 2. You would get along really well with Hate Machine because that's like his favorite fucking game.
JT just asked, what game do you keep trying to play but inevitably abandoned before finishing? Half-Life.
Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2.
fairly.
Apparently. Exactly right. Do you
I
have
don't
one
know,
like that?
Final Fantasy
keep trying to
13.
play? Like, what is the Dune of video games?
The Dune of video games.
You know how many times I tried to read Dune before I actually got into the book and read it? Like, it was a good 5 or 6 times I tried to read Dune. And it was just so dense.
Super Meat Boy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that one's fair, just on the same level of like.
That's crippling.
Technically, if you're not good enough, you can't finish the
No,
game.
I don't have like those young Asian teenager reflexes. Like I can't play those Twitch fighting games. I can't do like DDR. And Meat Boy is not even on the goddamn table. Forget it.
Yeah, like I don't know, a lot of those. I can't really think of anything like that because typically, if I try to play a game, it's either if I'm playing it and really, really enjoying it, I'll usually finish it. if I don't finish it, it's usually because I lost interest, and then I don't
Right.
try to play it again. I don't try to force myself to play games that just aren't worth playing.
PT.
No, that just won't happen ever. that is just a big no right across the board.
Freaked us the fuck out. Yeah. But you've read practically all the Dune novels, even the Kevin J. Anderson ones? Oh, Damon played.
Some people will just, if they like content, they will just take in any kind of content they can get in that world, whether it's
That guy,
good or bad.
He has to stop ruining IP. Like, just one to the next, like a goddamn fucking locust.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that's fair. Dark Souls 2 was one of those ones. I love the Soulsborne style games. Dark Souls 2 just didn't do it for me. There were some great parts in it, but it was no Dark Souls.
I'm still in Blight Town in the original Dark Souls.
You're not even trying.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm going back to it anytime soon.
Yeah.
You know, I did Demon Souls twice. I think I'm good.
I've honestly thought about buying the remaster of Dark Souls for PS4 just to like play it again because I fucking love that game.
So you can see Blight Town in 4K?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I can make Blight Town my bitch, though, because I know how to play that game. I finished it almost 4 times on PS3, so...
Great. In the meantime, I could play like 64 other games.
Yeah, teach their own.
Yes, that is true. Dark Souls on the Switch as well, so they're playing on the Switch, too.
Oh, shit, I forgot they even brought that out on the Switch.
Yep.
How does it run on there, anyways? Because I know on... previous consoles and stuff, and even the PC, they had problems with like frame rate and graphical glitches and stuff like that. So I really hope they work those out if they're going to put it on the fucking Switch, which is, well, I mean, at the bottom of that power list at that point.
Very much at the bottom of that list.
Yeah.
But you know what? It definitely has the juice to run Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition.
I mean, technically anything can run a pre-rendered video.
Not any fucking console I own, that's for damn sure.
That's good to hear that they fixed it, because it's I guess when they're doing this, they're really trying their best with the ports to the Switch now, because you have stuff like Doom. Apparently Doom is amazing on the Switch.
Technical wizardry they use to make it
because I mean that game is like glorious on newer systems and especially PC. So to get it to run on a Switch is just some kind of voodoo magic or something.
It was the first game that gave me motion sickness since the original Doom on my 40 megahertz computer back in like 1990.
Probably running on like a crispy 18 frames a second or something like
with
that.
my 50 megabyte hard drive. So like I don't suffer motion sickness, and that game gave me the twinges. Yeah. It was brutal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Dark Souls it's a good-looking game on PC especially, but it was never like an amazing-looking game. It looked really nice, but it was never amazing. So I guess if they just brought it down, kept the frame rate up, and it runs real nice and smooth on there, then go for it. And having it portable too.
I just wish that From Software would get off their ass and give me a goddamn Armored Core game.
I really feel like that's the next one in their house anyways, because we got Sekiro.
Yeah.
They're basically kind of on hiatus with all the Souls stuff right now.
Right. But we haven't had an Armored Core game in a generation.
Oh, I know. And that's why I think it's time now. Like, because they had all the Souls stuff. That was keeping them super busy because everyone wanted it. They were eating it up. They were getting all their money from that. Then we're getting Sekiro. It's coming out this year. And then, or is it out already?
No, it's not out yet. It's going to be out in March the 22nd, I want to say.
But to get a new IP, or more or less new IP anyways, like that, now I feel like they did a bunch of old, so let's get Armored Core now, because they haven't done one in, it's a full generation.
There have been rumors that they had a team working on it forever. Like, in the background,
because it's really sad, because I mean the 360 PS3 ones, they looked great, they played amazing. I love the updated kind of more Gundam-esque gameplay that they had in I think from 5 and on. They did that
March 22nd. I was right.
March 22nd. There you go.
So very shortly.
So I want a more amazing PS4 version of Armored Core.
Yeah.
And if not, someone else get on that. I want a fucking mech building game again.
Well, Radiophage, if it's not coming out this year, you can look forward to it on your PS5.
Yeah, basically.
Because
that's going to be that weird like crossover year, basically.
Yeah, I doubt you're going to see any AAA publishers targeting the PS4 next year. So it might be both. Like you'll see crossovers, but you're not going to see specifically PS4 stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, that's about our show for tonight, folks. If you like what we do here, please let us know. Tell your friends and fellow gamers. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe down at the bottom. If you're watching on Twitch, either on a VOD or right now, please take a moment to click the follow so you'll let it be notified when any updates happen and when we go on live on the air. Also, please subscribe to us on Twitter at digital_fiasco so we can keep track of any updates or news or, fun facts.
We also blast out on there. We're going live too. So
Indeed. We'd like to hear from you, even if you think that Half-Life 2 was the best game ever.
Hey, they're out there, man.
There are more of them than me. That's
Yep.
for damn sure. I don't know. I don't actively dislike it. It's just kind of.
No, it was like my Animal Crossing. It's like I just don't really get it.
I mean, I get it. It's a shooter game. It's revolutionary for the time. It's just like,
Yep.
I don't know. Sorry, it just.
That's right. Anger him a little bit more before we go away.
Well, I mean, it's sort of my MO, really.
And if you don't see Jack next week, then he's been killed because he doesn't like Half-Life 2, apparently.
Next week's show will be hosted by Robert Stack. They'll be looking for me. Yeah.
Scenario number 1. He's hanging from his neck in his fucking closet.
Look at that. Multiplayer. Just follow. Glad he found out about your Twitch. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
We run 3 to 4 shows a week. Digital Fiasco Live is our flagship.
This is our flagship.
Love it.
We're here from 8 to 10 every Monday. That's Central Time. Yeah, it's a 2-hour show. It's always interactive. So come on by and you can enjoy the full show next time.
Or in this case, an hour and 55 minutes.
Or yeah, in this case, it was a little bit shorter.
Actually,
but,
we were also 5 minutes late, so it's an hour and 50 minutes. We got a real shitty show.
Shortest show
That's
ever.
right.
Typically, we're overtime. We're like 15 minutes over. So
I don't think we've had a show under an hour and 50 minutes since the audio podcast, and that was only due to editing.
yeah.
Yikes.
But anyways, yeah.
All right.
Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, it's always
appreciate it.
interactive. So you have any questions, just fire them at us next week.
Yeah, and also you can join us back here tomorrow, where Dandr0id will be joining us for 4 Jerks Yelling. You're not going to be physically here in the studio, are you? You're going to be remote?
Whatever works.
I don't want to wear pants, so just stay home.
Okay, I'll stay home.
There you go.
That scared me away.
I'll just be here in like a robe and like a coffee cup.
But yeah, you can watch the 4 Talking Heads tomorrow talking about Metal Gear.
Yep, 4 Jerks Yelling on 4 Jerks Yelling. Yes, Metal Gear on 4 Jerks Yelling tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time. Wednesday, Player's Guide are off. Next week, they'll be back next Wednesday. That is also at 7 p.m. Central Time. And Thursday, Comic Sans, Kelly and Albel will be in the studio unless, I have to do the math. I'm pretty sure that Clayton may have been in the show as much as either of the 2 hosts.
Probably.
He may not be the guest host anymore.
They have a swapping roster.
Right?
We no longer have a dynamic duo. It's a dynamic trio, I guess.
Yeah, it's like one of those, they're juggling, so they're not all in the same time. So 7 p.m. Central Time, Thursday.
Yeah, so if you want your nerd news and your comic books and TV news and stuff, tune in Thursday because they have a 2-hour show there. They talk about all that stuff.
Also, please check out all the other new information and news on PSU.com. We both write for PSU.com. It is PlayStation Universe. They're a fantastic place. We have some of their alumnus here in the chat as well. They're all great people, and they were actually most of the group that came out for 4 Jerks Yelling last week. That was Ben, one of the guys from PSU, who I told to go fuck himself for not liking The Last of Us.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow then.
Well, I mean, I don't think we have anyone in the show that does not like Metal Gear in general.
Oh, but there may be some unpopular opinions coming your way. So.
I know that there is at least one person that thinks that Metal Gear Solid 2 is the best Metal Gear, which is objectively incorrect.
Well, there we go. We'll have a good discussion tomorrow then.
It will be. All right, folks. So from us here at Digital Fiasco, I'm Jack McBastard.
And I'm Dandr0id.
Hopefully you'll join us later in the week. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate you greatly. If you want to stick around in the chat for a minute, we are going to find someone else in the Shinzi crew to follow and follow. We're going to raid them. And if they're playing Destiny, which they probably are, make sure you let them know how much hunters suck, because they do a lot. Good night, everybody.
See ya.